Hello guys, today I'm teaching you how to use client secret request in Skapi. If you're using a third-party API that requires a client secret key, you can use this method in Skapi to make a secure post or GET request. In this case, you don't need to be afraid of leaking your keys and other people using your keys in case of leaking your secret keys. In this case, when a request is made, Skapi will replace the placeholder string with the client secret key that you have saved in your service dashboard, and it will return the response from any third-party API. You can use that with OpenWeather, with the OpenAI secret key, and you can save all your secret keys in Skapi and make more secure posts and GET requests. So in this case, I'm assuming that you guys already have an account in Skapi, so we can enter in my services. And I'm going to enter here into my main service. And in this tutorial, we are going to use this third-party API called OpenWeather, in which you can get weather information from many cities. When you make your own account, you can go into My API Keys, and you're going to get your key. In this case, you can just copy your key. When you go back into Skapi, you have here this section called Client Secret Key, and you can register a new one. In this case, it's going to be called Weather API, and this is so you can just save it. We are going to just create a small page so we can demonstrate how to use the client secret key that we saved in the dashboard in Skapi inside your code. You can just click exclamation enter, and in this case, inside the body, let's add a h1 tag in which we are going to put check the weather. We are going to also put an input, so you can add which city you want to search. So in this case, the ID is going to be city, and the placeholder is going to be insert the city name. Let's make it required. Let's make the button so we can search. And when this button is clicked, so on clicked, we are going to perform a function called check weather. And then we are going to just create a new div. It's where we are going to put the weather. So this div, the ID is going to be info. Inside this div, we are going to put the weather that we received from the check weather function. So let's then create a script tag. And inside that, the first thing you're going to get is the div, the info div, so we can put the information that we get from the API inside this div. So let info div be equal to document.getElementById info. So now that we have the div, let's create a function called check weather. And in this function, we are going to let city, we are going to get the information of the city that we want to search. So document.getElementById, it's going to be city. And we are going to get the value of this input. Let's fetch the API response. So in order to do that, we let response be equals to the Skapi method called Skapi.client secret request. And remember to make this await. We need to await this method and only after perform some actions. So we turn our function into a sync. And inside this Skapi method, what we need to pass is we need to pass the client secret name. So client secret name. You can go back into Skapi and see that the name is Weather API. So we can just copy. We can paste it here. The URL you're going to get depending on which third-party API you're using. And in this case of the OpenWeather map, this is the URL that you're going to need, but it changes depending on which API you use. The next thing you're going to define is the method. So in this case, we are using just get because we are just getting the information that we receive from this third-party API. And we are also going to define the params. In this case, it's going to be k equals city. This is also defined by the API. In the OpenWeather, we need the city, and we also need the app ID. In the app ID is where we are going to put our client secret key. So in this case, we are going to use $ client secret. Skapi is going to change this string with the secret key that you save in our dashboard. So in this case, we have the client secret name, the name that you define in the dashboard, and we are going to change this string here by the secret key that you uploaded in our dashboard. After that, what we are going to do, we are just going to console log the response. And don't forget to connect to the Skapi keys of your service. So in this case, we go back into Skapi, getting started, and here we have our Skapi key. So let's paste it on our code. We can paste here in the head, we save, and let's see if everything is working. We can click with the left and go into inspect and console. So here is where we are going to log the data that we are receiving. So let's search the city. Let's search Seoul. When we search, we have here all the data that our Open Weather Map provides us. So in this case, we just want to get the temperature. So we go inside main and temp, and we have the temperature. So let's go back into our code, and what we are going to do is that inside our info div, so info div.inner HTML, we are going to put the temperature as this inner HTML of this div. So in this case, it's going to be response.main.temp. We have the temperature. If we save and go back to our website, if we search for Seoul again, we get here the temperature. And you can do that with any keys that you get from any third-party APIs, and you can now safely store these keys inside our Skapi service. That was it for today's tutorial. Please like, subscribe, and leave your suggestions in the comments down below. See you guys next time!